Hello, and welcome to Husky Talk. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon Partners, they specialize in wealth management, retirement planning, and employee benefits. President Sean Rabinowitz is a proud supporter of Husky Talk. And after I make my first million, he's going to get me a Tesla. That's our plan. We have a very special guest today on Husky Talk. We have Miss Stephanie Schindel to join us. Welcome to Husky Talk.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. You look like you're 22 years old. You look so young. You look like you could run right now. But yeah, thank you for being a guest on Husky Talk.
Yeah.
We are very happy to have you, and it's a great opportunity to get to know you and hear your story. I don't know much about you, so this is going to be good for me to learn. So, where exactly are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Diamond Bar, California, which is
Wow.
Yes, which is near Anaheim, like Disneyland. If you just say that, then people get an idea.
Yeah, Disneyland. Oh my God! So you were right next to Disneyland.
Yeah,
Did you make a lot of trips to Disneyland?
we did. That's what you did in high school when you're 15. You can't go to a club, so you go hang out at Disneyland at night. It was a good time.
So, you were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're an athlete. What sports did you play growing up, would you say?
So I did dance for many years, about 8 or 9 years first, competitive dance. And then I got really sick in 6th grade and kind of had to stop. And then my older sister had just started volleyball. And so I just kind of followed along. And so it was about 6th and then 7th grade is when I switched to volleyball. And then I did some track and other things in high school. But once I hit volleyball, that was kind of my primary.
Volleyball was your passion. You figured it out. That's awesome. Because I had Maria Shaker on, and she was talking about the volleyball team, and she mentioned that the team is being honored in October 5th.
Yeah,
which is amazing. We're very excited for that, and we're hoping to turn it into kind of like a reunion for all the sports to get everyone there for it, because that was such a huge accomplishment. Because volleyball is a sport that isn't offered everywhere. Like I'm in the Northeast, I'm in New York, so not every school offers volleyball for girls or boys. Is it big in California? Is it something that people do in California? Is it?
Yeah, it's huge. Both indoor and then beach, obviously, which I wasn't that far, but I didn't grow up right on the beach. So I never really played beach until later. But yeah, it's a huge sport, really competitive, lots of clubs.
That's what Maria said. Maria said that the club teams are really how she got recruited. She got recruited more off the club teams than the school team, because the club teams are all the best players that play together. So you were playing volleyball, you were doing other sports, but 7th and 8th grade, 9th grade, when you were like a freshman, did you play volleyball on the varsity team as a freshman? Or
I played JV my freshman year and then varsity sophomore, junior, senior.
So you were good. So you played sophomore, junior year, senior year. Wow, on varsity. That is incredible. Anyone who plays as a sophomore on varsity has some real talent. What would you say about your coaching staff? Did your coaching staff recognize your talent and kind of guide you and push you in that direction?
Yeah, I would say I got pretty lucky. Had a really strong JV and varsity coach, but it really turned the tables once. I think sophomore year is when I went and tried out and made one of the top club teams.
Oh, wow.
And that's when everyone on those teams got a full scholarship. So that's when it really kind of clicked for me, and I got really good coaching and kind of took it to another level.
What position did you play?
I was an outside hitter.
You were an outside hitter. Okay. Did you serve at all?
Yes.
Okay, so you served.
All the way around, never came out for the most part.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you played in high school and you played in club. Would you say that volleyball you played basically year round? Is that something you did? Yeah, it was a year round deal.
Yeah, exactly. You have we're fall sport, and then club picks up kind of right when that ends. Yeah. And that takes you through whether you go to junior nationals or there's some other end of year tournament. I think it's, I don't know, June-ish, somewhere around then. So summer's the only time, but then there's other camps and things that you can do. And then you're gearing up for your high school team again. So it is pretty much year round.
When would you say that you started to get recruited? Because, back, it was tough to get recruited in that day. It's not like, now where there's YouTube and there's different ways on the internet.
Tape or something.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to send out a bunch of VHS tapes with a resume to different schools to get recruited, because I'm in an area where there isn't a ton of talent, so coaches are never passing through here with recruiting. So even with volleyball, I can't imagine like coaches passing through to watch you play. You have to send your stuff out and get them engaged to watch you play. So that's what you mainly did to get recruited? You sent out film?
Only at the very end. I started because once sophomore, junior, senior, when I played for one of the top clubs, I think sophomore year we got a bronze medal at the Junior Olympics. So we were a very talented team. Yeah. Most of the team was more talented than I, but I got to be a part of it. And so that's where all the club coaches, in fact, our coaches were assistants for top 10 programs.
Right. So you were saying basically it was through the club teams is where the college coaches came, and that was mainly what helped you get recruited.
Yeah, exactly. And our club coaches were assistant coaches at top programs.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of exposure within that as well.
Okay, that makes sense then. So when you started looking at colleges, basically probably after your junior year, what were the top schools that you wanted to go to, that you were looking at and considering?
It's actually interesting. I had no idea, to be honest. Again, I played very competitively, and a lot of the girls on my team or the coaches were all from top 10 programs. And I'm actually not that tall for a volleyball outside hitter. I'm 5'10", but everyone else on my team is 6'2", and above. And so I thought that I had opportunities to probably go to a more of a top program, but I thought I wanted more of a college experience. I didn't want to necessarily sit the bench. I wanted to be somewhere where
you wanted to play.
Review. Yeah. And I thought I wanted a college experience too. Joke was on me because we trained more than any of my friends.
I know.
Thanks, Hootie and everyone else. But yeah, so I didn't know where. I was just really open. I'm also a stubborn middle child and was ready to fly the coop. And so when I took a couple of visits, but I knew I wanted to be out of California. I wanted a new experience.
You really wanted to come far away.
I wanted to try something else, and Connecticut was about as far as I could go. So.
And did the Connecticut coaches come and get to see you in California?
I swear, I don't remember exactly how it goes. I think the majority was at the club tournament. So some of them were probably in California, but we traveled all across the country to big tournaments. we always played in Chicago. There was another team, and I think Texas, Florida, Colorado, Las Vegas every year was a really big one. So I think they probably did. I'm trying to remember if they actually came to my house. I can't recall.
But you did take an official visit to UConn, and you got to see everything.
I did, yeah.
And what sold you on UConn? Because I always hear the same thing from people on why they went to UConn. So I'm just curious.
I just instantly clicked with the team.
That's what everyone says.
It's just the people, it's just there's something about it, and it's bizarre because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you just drive and then there's a college. But you're on 195 and you're driving, and then all of a sudden you see a college. You see a farm, and then you see a college. You're like, where did this come from? Exactly. It's like it came out of nowhere.
It completely. But there was quite a few people on the team from California. Probably the majority of our team was from California.
I know. They recruited California hard. That was a big deal. I know that they did really try on the West Coast. So you go on your visit, you stay overnight. Yeah. Did they push you to commit on your visit? All right. Yeah. Did they push you to commit on the visit?
I honestly don't remember specifically. I just remember having a good time. I'm sure there was some conversation, but I didn't feel pressured in it.
Okay. They didn't pressure you. So, but you love the atmosphere, and so many people say that, whether it's football, I've talked to field hockey players, I've talked to volleyball players, I've talked to baseball players. Everyone says that it's the atmosphere. It's like a family, we all supported each other. We all hung out together. We were all friends. It didn't matter what sport you played. It was really like a jock school. That's kind of how I felt. I hate saying that, but that's how it felt. So you had a great visit. Everything goes well. You go back. What other schools were on your radar?
I think I took a trip to Boise State, sort of as a joke. I was like, Idaho, I don't think I'm gonna like it there, but I actually had a wonderful time there too, and and they're a great program. So I ended up considering it much more than I thought I would.
Yeah, you were gonna go to Idaho. That's awesome. All right, so you were gonna consider going to actually Idaho, and thankfully you did not, but you did have a good time there.
I did have a good
time. When did you settle on UConn? Making the decision to go there?
That's a great question. I think I took my visit in the fall of my senior year.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I feel like I did commit shortly there after.
Okay. So you were committed. You committed shortly after the visit.
Yeah. So I knew well in advance. Yeah.
Okay. So you get to UConn. Mm-hmm. You're from California, all right, and it's Storrs, Connecticut. You're in the middle of nowhere. I'm from New York. When I got there, like after the first day, I was in culture shock, and I called home and I asked if I could leave. I was like, "Dad, please, I don't know if I can do this. I want to come home." I can't even imagine being, from California. Was it culture shock for you, or did you get here as a freshman and just love it immediately?
Well, I did love it immediately as far as like the team, because we come a month early, as you guys know, and for preseason and all that. And so that part, I mean, preseason was crazy, but that was wonderful. Once when.
Yeah, so you came in the fall, you came early.
Yes.
And you trained, and you said that made the transition a little bit easier, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And then when the culture shock began.
That's really when it began, right there.
Yes, I've never seen snowfall.
Oh, and it comes hard.
I thought, oh, it'll be fun. I like to be cold, but I quickly realized, no, I like to be warm. California, you put a sweatshirt on, you're nice and cozy. This does not work in storage. So I had a rude awakening, that's for sure.
Oh my God, that's great. I hear that all the time too. It's like I've never seen snow before. I didn't know what to do with it. So as a freshman,
yes.
I know that the scholarship deal is different for volleyball.
Yeah.
Were they able to give you some money? Were they able to give you anything?
Yeah, I got a full.
Oh, you got a full. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you were one of the top recruits then. You got a full scholarship.
I got most of our team did. We were fortunate to have quite a few.
Yes. Yeah.
Allocation. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you saw the NCAA recently increase scholarship limits in all the sports.
Oh, nice.
If you saw that, but football went from 85 to 105, which I think is absolutely insane.
Wow.
Volleyball, I think it went from 12 to 30. So they're going to be able to have as many players as they want on the team. It's just crazy how much it increased. But it's good you got a full scholarship. Did you get a chance to play as a freshman?
I did start the season. I battled injuries my freshman and sophomore year quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that playing time was somewhat intermittent, but finally got that under my belt and then played the whole time our senior year.
Wow. So that's awesome. You were able to jump in and play right as a freshman. What did you think of the coaching staff? Were you happy with the coaching staff at UConn? Did you learn?
So I was mainly recruited. The one I had developed the relationship was with one of the assistant coaches who left and did something else still right away. So, and then our Maria, actually this was before Maria. So, the coach that I came in my freshman year, she got let go after our season. There was
wow,
very interesting things happening.
There was turmoil on the volleyball team.
Was a lot of turmoil. I only got one glimpse of it because I had one season, but some of these women
was there like dissension between the team? Would you say?
No, the team was great. It was
okay.
Coaching. What there was, just some stuff.
Oh, okay. I got you. But
it was so dramatic that I considered leaving. I went and got my release from Pat Babcock, and then I came back.
So you actually went to Patty B, and you said that like I really want to transfer, and you considered it. What was the what made you stay? How did they get you to stay? What was it? The new coach? Was like the philosophy?
So coach was let go at the end of the season. We didn't even know who the new coach would be yet. So
wow!
It was all just kind of honestly on a gut feeling. I developed such close relationships
with the team.
I hadn't thought it through. So the thought in my head was just go back home, go to the Pomona D3 school right now, something local. And that didn't really appeal to me either. So I was like, no, you know what? I don't know how this is going to go. This may not be the volleyball experience that I thought I was getting into, but I just had this inkling to go back and play it out. And as you know, and kind of alluded to earlier, like all my friends to this day are all volleyball, football, field hockey, soccer. Like we really are a family. It's pretty wild. Like, so
it shows that first of all, early on, you had a lot of maturity to make that decision. And number two, it shows that you are able to overcome adversity. And I think that's the biggest difference we see now with this generation of kids. Overcoming adversity, you don't see it nearly as much. And you see so many kids that end up in the transfer portal because of situations, they want to play right away and it doesn't happen, or they just don't want to work for it and they go in the transfer portal. But to stay and work and develop, that takes a lot of, it shows your character. It shows your strong character, and it's very impressive, and it shows your maturity. So I'm very glad that you did stay. So the new coach, when did they end up hiring a new coach, would you say? Was it in the spring?
Spring, yeah.
Okay, so it was in the spring. Did you like did you like the coach? Because it's always tough when you're not the coach's, the coach wants his own people.
So it was,
that's always tough.
That's where initially there was I think and I can't speak for her, but it felt like when she came in, it was like, oh, here's this team that I was given. I want to make this my program. So she wanted kind of an overhaul, but then quickly realized she had a lot of talent and she needed to utilize that. And I'm not really talking about myself. The people ahead of me and Janelle and Ann and those years ahead of Net, everyone, that was leading up to the 98 team. So that was the 98 team where we had our best year ever.
Was that her first year?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. So she comes in her first year and you guys win the Big East. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah. A huge accomplishment. I think it was like the first time ever that the volleyball won the Big East.
Correct.
So she obviously did a good job, and it's good that she kept you guys and didn't try to run you out. Because now in football nowadays, it's so crazy. Like even UConn, we got beat by Maryland, but we have 22 freshmen, 27 transfers.
Wow.
That's like half your team. Yeah. It's just a massive overhaul. And I just think that's too much. So it's good that they kept the core together and you guys believed in each other and it showed on the court. What specific memories do you have of the 98 season? Because that was so special.
It was. Just I think the camaraderie, like, and we really are so close. I talk to them all the time. We're in a fantasy football league right now.
Yeah.
We're as close as can be still to this day. Awesome. And it's interesting. Like, I think a lot of the teams are, and with across multiple, but our 4 to 5 with Shaker, those years, for whatever reason, like that is a really, really, really tight knit.
Yeah. And it makes a difference.
It does. Yeah. So I have a lot of different memories, but the beating Notre Dame, it was the first time anyone else had beat them. That was a big thing for us. And some of the Georgetown games, just finally really competing at a high level and having some success and putting it all together after kind of prior being such a tumultuous year.
Yeah.
I was still battling injuries. So for me, the playing time, whatever, but just to be a part of it and with those girls, like there's nothing like it.
Were you still able to serve? Did you serve at all? Here and there, maybe.
I mean, I would play a little bit, but I missed a large portion, I would say, of that. And two, as far as playing time, but you're still every bit a part.
100%. 100%.
So it was special for sure.
So academically, what did you major in?
So I majored in HDFR, Human Development and Family.
That's what all the football guys majored in. That was the football major, HDFR, HDFS. It was HDFS, then it changed to HDFR, or I can't remember if it was HDFR and then changed to HDFS.
In my class, yeah.
Human Development and Family Studies. That was awesome. That was your major. I majored in sociology. So we called that like I majored in graduation, just to get through and graduate. So you had the '98 season, and then did you play in '99?
Yeah. So the next 2
'99 and 2000. Okay.
Injury free, and so I didn't really miss a game to my knowledge for after that. Yeah.
Okay. What was your experience then? I mean, '99, 2000, UConn 2000 was a huge project.
Yeah.
The facilities got upgraded. The sports teams all around were doing much better. We actually got things going in football eventually. So that's why I asked, any memories from '99 and 2000?
In general, it was really fun. '99 was, if I recall, the basketball national championship. So that's everyone's mind that night of mayhem.
Spring weekend, yeah.
Well, and then, but our coach didn't cancel practice the next day, so that was a bit brutal after partying all night. But
oh, she made you practice the next day.
we all were sure she's going to cancel, so we raged and then joked about it. But I get spring season, it's fine. So that was a big one. Volleyball wise, we fell short of some of the team goals that I wanted. I was able to finally be injury free, and so I had
which is huge.
Success, but I wanted the team. I wanted the Big East tournament. I wanted the NCAA, and
of course.
that happened. But again, all in all, it was a phenomenal experience, and those years were really fun.
And I believe Maria said that the coach now was your teammate.
Well, then, no.
No, it's not. Okay.
Maybe current of the UConn team?
Yeah, the UConn Volleyball. It's not it wasn't your teammate? Okay, I'm thinking of somebody else who said that.
No. I'm thinking of UConn soccer.
Oh, that's what it is. It's soccer. Yes. See, I had the soccer guys on. You got it right. You got it right. I had Ryan Brown on.
Yeah. So Ryan is one of my dear friends, and actually.
Oh, okay, good.
The wealth management business, so it all comes full circle here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ryan Brown was the one who said that. Okay.
His old teammate is the coach now. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, but you at least had, personally, you had 2 good years in '99 and 2000.
Yes.
And you had a great experience at UConn.
Championships, basketball. Everyone else was winning championships, so it was still a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, same thing with football. Like, we got destroyed when I was there. I was there 99, 2000, 2001. It was just mayhem. We just got beat up, and then finally turned the corner. I had 2 good years, 2002, 2003. 2002, for the first time, we were 6-6, but we beat Iowa State, who was in the Big 12. That was huge. And then 2003, we were 9-3, and if we were in a conference, then we would have gone to a bowl game.
Yeah.
But it was just good to see that UConn turned things around.
Exactly. And the program.
And then 2005 was when they built the indoor facility, the Burton Shankman Center for football.
I've been there.
It is. And we were the first school in the Northeast to have an indoor facility. And then eventually they built one for basketball, and I know all the sports use it. In UConn, it's just amazing as a public university that has had so much success in sports. So you were an HDFS major, HDFR. Where did you live? Did you live in McMahon? Did you live in the jungle? Where'd you live?
My freshman year, I was in West.
Oh, you were in West? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
God bless you. You were in West.
Yep. And although we had a great time. And then the next year I was in alumni. Same year.
Alumni was good. Yeah.
And then I think it was the last 2 years, last 1 or 2 years, I lived in a house off campus, but like right off campus with
you were in a house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because we ended up living in the Hilltop Apartments, which were amazing, and which happened like on accident. I remember because I lived in Hilltop, and my roommate, I lived with Ed and Jay Chuck, and I had a single. Nobody wanted to live with me, but I was friends with Ed and Jay Chuck and Mike Woodward and Lawrence Oliver, and Ed saw that Hilltop Apartments were being built. Nobody knew anything about it, so Ed applied to live there, and we were supposed to go in person to be interviewed, and it was over winter break, and Ed was the only one who went, and he made an excuse up that Lawrence and I got into a car accident and Woody was off playing basketball. So we got into Hilltop Apartments. We were the only football players to live there, and everyone was jealous. Everyone was so jealous because we had a family room. We each had a bedroom. We had a washer and dryer. I don't know if you remember or if you ever met Ed and Jay Chuck. Ed used to run around and tell guys, "I'm just going to wash one sock because I can." That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a sock and just throw it in and wash it just because I can. And we used to have wars with the air conditioner because I always liked it cold. I liked it cold. I like to sleep in the cold. So I would turn it down all the way. And then during the night, Ed or Lawrence would turn it up. And then I'd just wake up and sweat, and then I'd turn it down. I would just call it the temperature wars. And then Ed had to get a medical red shirt and not play anymore. So I was furious at him for doing that. So when I would get up to go to winter workouts at 6 a.m., I would turn the AC. I would turn all the way down before I left, just to mess with him.
That sounds yeah.
Yeah. So you lived in an apartment off campus. Did you live with like 3 or 4 girls?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We had four in the house. Yeah.
It wasn't like a carriage house, was it?
No, it was an actual house. Just right off of on the way, I think, to Carriage House.
I got you. I know what you're talking about. That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome that you did that. So you graduated HDFR. Tell me your career path. What did you start to get into right after that?
So right away, I actually went and played overseas briefly.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't think I had to think about things right away. So I played in Germany.
So did I. Oh my God. Yeah, I played in I played in NFL Europe. I played in Cologne, and I played in Dusseldorf for the Rhine Fire. So I love Germany.
I played in Wiesbaden.
Yep. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you seek them out, or did they come to you? Because I don't know how that works.
Yeah. So
because there's usually a rule of how many Americans you can have on a team. I know.
Exactly. So I was fortunate. So the spring after my senior season, right before I graduated, I don't even remember how this came to be, but I knew I wanted to potentially explore playing. Yeah. And there's an agent that sets up these tours. So they take 12 people from across the country, form a team, and then go play through a bunch of teams, because one, it's obviously to get you exposure so the teams can see you, but it's not as glamorous as I think a lot of Americans think. Like, some of the facilities we played in are terrible, and
yes,
they're a variety of whatever. So they were like, they had so many Americans go and then be like, this is crazy, and like so they started doing these tours. And it was the best time ever. I actually toured through Spain and Portugal, though. So the Germany thing happened because at the end of the summer, I was talking to the agent and he said, it's a lot easier if you're just here. I can send you to, a million different teams. So I flew out there, didn't know where I was going to stay, didn't know what was happening. And he sent me to a few different teams and I ended up, they chose me and I chose
That's
them.
awesome. That's awesome. And I know, because I know some players who played overseas in Italy and whatever, they give you a house, a car, an apartment, and all that stuff. Did they give you any of those perks?
Oh, our division was not quite that nice, but I
Okay.
staying with one of the girls on the team.
Yep.
And they gave us some things. I did not have a car either, but I could borrow hers. So, like I said, it's not as glamorous as I think.
No, but it's still amazing.
The top division, I think we were the second division. But I went obviously for the experience, not, to make $1 million. It was really great. I still talk to, a couple of the girls. But it only, awesome. I was only there, like, not even the full season. I was starting to battle injuries again, my knees, and I was like, I don't want to blow out my knee. I'm not making
right.
And I was there and actually saw it happen live September 11th, 2000. So that was a wild experience to be overseas for.
God, yeah.
So I think there was a multitude of things combined that I finally was like, you know what, I
want to go back. Yeah.
But it was such a great experience. I kick myself. I wish I would have stayed longer or traveled more while I was there. But it was an amazing.
Did you play throughout Germany?
Yeah, mostly throughout Germany. Yeah.
Okay, so like, did you go to Berlin or Hamburg or Frankfurt? Any of those places?
For Hamburg, I went down. So before I settled on Wiesbaden, they sent me. And there was another girl who was trying to play. So they sent us down to like Sandhoven, like way south.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is like, you feel like you're in a movie. Like they're dressing differently in the cobblestones. And it was like,
I know. They stare at you if they stare at you, the Americans.
Yeah, it was so crazy. And that team was terrible, but it was just fun to see other things and to go.
Yeah.
So I tried to do that. But yeah, when we were playing, I think it was all just Germany for the most.
Yeah.
Bouncing around.
Yeah. No, I loved it too because we were allowed to take the train to go to practice, which was fun. Yeah. And then we were done usually by noon, which was great. And then we would have the rest of the day to do whatever we wanted. We could go explore the city. We could go anywhere we wanted. A lot of the guys like to go out. The coaches would go out.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy because you'd have to be up by 5:30 to eat breakfast, take the train, go to practice, meetings, and then you would have the day to yourselves. And then during our bye week, I got to go to Paris. I saw Paris. I went to Italy, and I went to Amsterdam. I had a little too much fun in Amsterdam, and there was a team also in Amsterdam. And I always thought to myself, if I played on this team, I don't know if I would go to practice. I don't know if I'd go to practice at all. Yeah. It was just crazy. It was just crazy when you have the red light district and all that there. It's like, wow, like this place is different. So you did that. You come back. What did you end up doing when you came back home?
So I came back home, obviously earlier than expected, and I left at 17. So I was like, this is not going to work. I need to go do something else. So I ended up getting a job. So my focus in college was the HDFR, but I was focusing on early childhood. I thought I wanted to do something, related to teaching, or I don't know. So I found this job, stumbled into this job to be a nanny. Then one of the kids.
That's tough.
Special needs. And so I was like, I don't even know what this is, but this is what I want to do. So then I found a grad school program.
Oh my God. Wow.
And did that in Texas. And then was kind of in and out of that field, working with children with special needs for many years. Quickly learned that it's an important profession, but it doesn't pay anything.
Nothing. No. The girl that I may or may not be seeing, she is a therapist, counselor, and she works with a lot of children with autism and special needs.
Yeah.
And it's very it just wears on her. She says, there's days that she'll come home, she'll tell me, and she'll just sit and stare at the wall for like an hour because she also does trauma victims too, and it's just so hard on her. And the money, she said, because dealing with the insurance companies and everything and trying to get paid, it's like you don't make money. You don't make a ton of money.
Right.
So I completely understand getting out of that field because you can only take it so long. I mean,
and emotionally, I tend to take it all home with me, and
that's what she is. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean,
how to turn it off. You want to help everyone, and it's not.
Yeah,
it can be unhealthy. So I kind of dabbled in and out of that for a while, and then simultaneously a bunch of other things. I worked for a sports agent. I managed retail stores. Like I really ran.
Wow, you did it all.
I tried it all, and then how I landed where I am now is I had a startup that I like to say didn't exactly start up. And so I was kind of in between, and that's when Ryan had just started his into wealth management from investment banking. And he was like, you should come in. I think initially he wanted us to work together. I think he wanted to use my network because I had done so many different things.
Yeah, you knew everyone, right?
Network of people.
Because it's Ryan does it through Northwestern Mutual, right? Correct. Yeah. Okay.
So came in, and then they were explaining the different roles, and I knew I didn't want to just be a support, sit behind a desk 9 to 5. Like I needed to do something else. And I had just actually finance or math or accounting probably would have been a natural
fit.
But at 17, I wanted to save the world, to save the children. I didn't understand.
Yeah, we're all like that. We're all like that.
Make a difference. And so we eventually, got here, but then learning that, you're working with people, it's relationship building, you are helping people, working with families. It kind of tied everything together in an interesting way.
You're making connections. Yeah, for sure.
People and all this stuff. And so, so I started that. It's about 8 or 9 years.
Well, I mean, you have the personality for it, which is what you need. You're very outgoing, you're very sweet, you're very funny, you're kind, and that's what you need to go into those environments and build those relationships. And if I just correct me if I'm wrong, the toughest thing to earn is trust. Mm-hmm. To get them to trust you and have that loyalty to them. So that's incredible that you've been able to do that.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that now for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I think about 8 plus. I did it kind of like Ryan, like building it on your own. A lot of collaboration for about 5 years, and then I actually got an opportunity to kind of merge my practice in with a managing director's practice, and so now I kind of do. It's the best for me. It's the best of both worlds. I still maintain all my client, relationships that I had previously, but I work more like strategic operations, things to build and scale the firm as well, which I enjoy because keeps it different. Do a lot of different things. So I need variety, so it allows me.
I can tell. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, because it seems like you have so many different interests, and there's so many different things you want to do, and there's not enough hours in the day to do them all, and there's not enough careers to do them all. But you at least found something where you're able to do some of what you want and get to most of what you want, and you're making connections, forming those relationships, and making a difference. That's the biggest thing I see is when you're out there and you're making a difference in people's lives. That to me is most important.
Exactly.
Most important at all. Do you go back to UConn at all? Have you been back?
I've been back quite a few times.
Oh, good.
Volleyball, we try to go every couple of years. For a while, I was going back with like Phil and a bunch of other all the football guys for homecoming here and there. I tried to, every few years, obviously not all that often, but when I can, we all went to the Fiesta Bowl. Like we find pockets of things to do. But volleyball, we've been trying to do it a little bit more. They were just there a couple years ago for I think
that's what she said. Yeah,
I missed that one, but I was there the year prior. And then I'm hopefully going in October of this year.
Yes. I have built a relationship with Phil, with Phil Hunt, and also Mike Burton. We're trying to use the podcast Husky Talk because I've been able to connect with so many different alumni. We're planning October 5th. UConn plays Temple for football. So, as Steve Darby says, we're trying to get the band back together.
Yes.
We're trying to get as many alumni as we can to come. You guys are being honored. I told Phil, I said, listen, do something. The alumni, for football, kind of feel like they've been left out. They kind of feel like they've been abandoned. I said, do this, put a tent up, give us some food, some drink, let the guys be happy, and that'll make a difference. And then after the game, we can come back to campus. We'll get together with everyone, get a bus, take us back. We'll get to hang out with everyone. That's all we want. We just want to spend time together with the alums. We just want to have and share our stories and talk about where we've been and talk about our journeys. Because we have the power, we have the family. And that's why it's so important, especially, for football to improve and get us into the Big 12 conference. And that is going to show what UConn is really all about. We are successful in so many sports, and we're not getting the recognition, and the alumni are not coming together. And the NIL has changed everything. And Mike Burton, bleedingblueforgood.org. All he's looking for, he doesn't want $5,000, $10,000, $200. If you can donate $200 to bleedingblueforgood.org, you can go on the website, you can pick the sport to donate to. That's what he wants, because he raised $1 million last year. He did it all on his own, and he's just pulling his hair out because he can't do it by himself.
Correct.
We have 20,000 kids that graduate that go to school every year. So if everyone gives a little bit of money to their sport, then we can raise the kind of money and show the Big 12 that we can raise $10 million. We can raise $20 million, and that'll be the difference. So sorry to get on my soapbox.
I'm glad that you told me. Yes. And
I'm trying
my team as well. Yeah.
I'm trying to help. I told Mike Burton, I said, Mike, if you can give me some money for the podcast, I will definitely go out and I will try to raise money for you. And he said, Steve, all I need, I don't need $5,000. If you can get people to give $200, he said, I'll do jumping jacks down Huskies to Huskies if you can do that. Or no, cartwheels. He said he'd do cartwheels down Huskies. If we could do that. So that's what we're trying to do. I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your story. It's incredible. You've had so much success. And then I also have to mention our other sponsor, Green Street Trust International. It's run by Rennell Jump out of Florida. You know Rennell?
Yes, I know Rennell well.
My God, it's crazy. Yeah. Rennell came on as a sponsor. Thank you. We appreciate it. That helps keep Husky Talk going. They specialize in working with nonprofit organizations to give them tax breaks and also help them with grants. They also do wealth management, retirement planning, and trusts. So go to greenstreettrust.com and Rennell will take care of you. I did my due diligence. I got it all in.
Yes, you did.
But Stephanie,
yes.
I hope that you make the trip October 5th.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I am going to do all I can to make it a big event for all the sports teams.
That would be amazing.
If you can connect me with any volleyball players,
yes,
that I can have on the show, I really
got a list.
I'll take them, please.
Yes, I'll send it to you right after this.
Now you have, because you have my email address. Yeah. Please email me and I will connect with them. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Yeah, we made it work. We figured it out.
Issues in the beginning, but
we figured it out.
Got there.
All right. For Miss Stephanie Schindel, and I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges.